27th September 2024. During the United Nations General Assembly in New York, when it was Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's turn to speak, more than half of the diplomats turned their backs to Netanyahu and walked out of the assembly in protest. The message was very clear. Israel bombed Gaza and Lebanon. But what was the use of walking out? After that, Israel has also started attacks on Yemen. If we talk about Gaza alone, more than 42,000 innocent people have been killed in the last 1 year, including children and women, and millions of people have become homeless. America, European Union, and UK have also warned Israel many times that this war can also take a terrible form. The world saw a glimpse of this on 1st October 2024, when Iran 200 ballistic missiles were fired on Israel from 1,800 kilometers away. And the report till 2nd October is that Israel has given serious threats to Iran. Despite this, it has still failed to stop Israel. Before understanding the real strength of Israel, it is important for us to understand a little about the current situation. The issue of Israel and Palestine has been going on since the time when both of them did not even exist. For now, the situation is such that the Palestinians have kept the area limited to a small strip by pushing it, which is called Gaza Strip. This territory is spread over an area of 360 square kilometers, from where neither it is easy to go out nor to go inside it. On one side there is Mediterranean, on the other side Egypt, and on the other two sides Israel is present. Only those who need it go there, and that too only when Israel wants. This is why the international community believes that Gaza Strip is the world's largest open-air prison. Gaza is currently under the control of Hamas, which is a militant wing. In October last year, when Hamas fired thousands of rockets on Israel, the retaliatory action started by Israel is still going on. The local population of Gaza is suffering the most due to this, who are being pushed into this war even without wanting it. More than 42,000 people were killed, including children. Thousands of people became homeless and were injured so much that it is difficult to even count the people in Gaza. What was once a city now looks like a pile of rubble of millions of tons. Israel says that they have done all this to eliminate the militant wing of the people and will continue to do so. But the thinking does not digest the fact that in Gaza, which had a population of around 5 lakh in 2017, how can 42,000 people, that is 8% of the population, be a militant wing? To save themselves from Israel's attacks, the local population of Gaza has only one way left. That is to leave the Gaza Strip and settle in Lebanon. Yes, the same Lebanon where Israel's airstrikes are going on these days. But this task is not so easy. First, one has to enter Jordan through the Red Sea from Egypt, then Syria from there, and finally Lebanon. Hezbollah, which is an Iranian-backed group, has a lot of influence in Lebanon. It is a militant group, and this group also helps us in Gaza. But who is this Hezbollah? In 1980, during the civil war in Lebanon, Israel occupied South Lebanon. To fight Israel, an armed group emerged there, which was named Hezbollah. This group drove Israel out of Lebanon, and since then it is a powerful political and militant wing of Lebanon. Experts say that this group is more powerful than the Lebanese army, and it has the support of Iran. Ever since Hezbollah came into existence, it has been a threat to Israel, and clashes between them have become a common thing every day. But after the attacks on Gaza last year, Hezbollah had openly announced to support the Palestinians. Now here a new problem arose for Israel, because it was easy to attack, but now they had to answer Hezbollah in Lebanon as well. Now Israel needed a big reason to attack Lebanon directly. Experts believe that only then they planned the pager attacks. On 17th and 18th September 2024, more than 3,000 pagers and radio sets of Hezbollah exploded simultaneously. Hezbollah blamed Israel for this, and also fired many rockets at Israel. The opportunity that was being looked for had now arrived. Israel started airstrikes on South Lebanon from the very next day, and thousands of people were forced to leave their homes. Hezbollah's commander Hassan Nasrallah in this operation. On the other hand, countries around the world have made every effort to end the fighting before the situation in the Middle East gets worse, and many countries have also criticized Israel a lot. If we talk about help, many aids have been announced for Gaza from all over the world. If we talk about the U.S. alone, then according to the U.S., by 30 September 2024, America has announced to launch a military operation in Gaza. Aid for Palestinians announced on 7th March 2024, U.S. President Joe Biden announced to build a military port in Gaza to help them. And on 27th of this year, USAID also announced immediate aid of $53 million. We find countless such announcements on different news websites. But while most countries of the world are criticizing Israel, Israel is taking these attacks with more vigor. What is the reason that small Israel, surrounded by Arab countries on all sides, is not coming under anyone's control? This matter has also been raised in the United Nations Security Council 3 times in the last 1 year. Representatives of different countries participate in the UN Security Council, and any issue is decided through voting, and this decision is then taken up. The next country has to agree, but all 3 times when the ceasefire agreement was signed in the Security Council, America used its veto power and canceled this decision. Yes, the same America which had announced an aid of millions of dollars for Gaza. In June 2024, America itself filed a ceasefire agreement which was also passed in the Security Council, but that too was later vetoed. On one hand, President Joe Biden says that war is not in anyone's interest, and on the other hand, America also used veto powers in the UN. Not only this, but according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, between 2019 and 2023, 69% of all the weapons imported by Israel were ordered from America. And moreover, every year, America imports 100,000 weapons from Israel. Israel is also given military aid of $3.8 billion. All this information is also available publicly. People say that America talks about stopping attacks on Israel. On the other hand, it also supports Israel. This is the reason that the war is increasing instead of decreasing, which can take a terrible form in the Middle East in the coming time. But here, an important question arises that why is America doing this? The answer to this question is linked to religion. According to a research by Wheaton College of US, there is a very large population of about 35 to 40 lakh people in America who have full faith in the Bible and also follow it. Many of these people believe that the creation of Israel is exactly according to the Bible. There is an organization in America whose aim is to create Israel. This organization is for the protection and raising voice for the Jews. This organization is called CUFI, that is, Christians United for Israel. This organization has 10 branches in the whole world. There are 10 million members in which some big names of American politics are also included. This group of Christians is also called Zionism. Remember that Christianity is a different religion, and Judaism is a different religion, whereas Judaism is a political movement which works for the rights of Israel. The most important thing is that it is not necessary that every Jew or every Christian is a Zionist. How does this group get its desired decisions made in American politics or government? For this, there is a separate committee which is called AIPAC, or American Israel Public Affairs Committee. This is the biggest and most powerful lobbying committee in the world, which can get its desired decisions made in the American Congress whenever it wants. All the decisions are made in the U.S. Congress. New laws are made, budgets are approved, and wars are also started in the U.S. Congress. Members take all these decisions through voting. Now, if a big group buys most of the members of the U.S. Congress and tells them to vote in their favor in a particular resolution, then this is called lobbying. The surprising thing is that lobbying is absolutely legal in America, but there are some conditions for this. The one who is lobbying has to keep all these details public and not give money to any Congress member under the table. That is, whatever happens will be in front of everyone. It is clearly written on AIPAC's website that this group lobbies to implement Israeli policies in the American government. Not only this, but the candidates who stood in the U.S. general elections and had the support of AIPAC, out of them, 98 won the elections. These candidates were also given $4 million. This group not only implements pro-Israel policies in American politics, but also works to defeat those who are against Israel. It is written on their website that they have also defeated 24 such candidates who were against pro-Israel policies. AIPAC's support for Israel is now taking a very dangerous form. What happened was that South Africa filed a case in the International Criminal Court (ICC) against Israel's bombing and human rights violation in Gaza. This court is a part of the United Nations, but it is not under the direct control of America. On 24 April 2024, IC Chief Pro-Q Assad Karim Khan receives a threatening letter from 12 U.S. senators in which it was written that we have received reports that ICC is going to impose a case against Israel. Orders are going to be issued to arrest Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli leaders. It was written in it that if you do this, we, i.e. U.S., will impose worse sanctions against your organization and will also ban your and your family's U.S. visits. It was clearly written in this letter that if you target Israel, we will target you. And finally, it was mentioned at the end of the letter that you have been banned. The names and signatures of those 12 U.S. senators were also attached with this letter. The interesting thing is that there is a list of all those senators on the website of U.S. who are pro-Israeli. There are candidates for whom funding is being collected, and the names of the senators who wrote a threatening letter to the chief project of ICC are also openly written in this list. But the story is still left. You all must have heard about bonds. Most of the governments issue them to collect money from investors, and in return, the person who buys the bond is given an annual profit. The advantage of this is that the government gets money in the form of a loan, and whenever the bond has to be returned, the government buys it back. Now let's come to the real story. According to a story by The Guardian, in August 2023, a representative of Israeli bonds emailed the Ohio State Treasurer in America and asked if he would buy Israeli bonds worth $5 million. Normally, any government institution would buy any bond. Selling things is not that easy. It has a lot of complications and permissions have to be taken from different people. But surprisingly, in the next 40 minutes, the Terror Office approved the purchase of Israeli bonds. Later, it was found out that after the war between Hamas and Israel started, various U.S. states and municipalities have bought Israeli bonds worth at least $1.7 billion. It seems that America has not one but many ways to support Israel, the last of which is America's support in the Middle East. As you know, issues have been going on between Iran and the U.S. for the last several decades. Whether it is the 20-year American occupation in Afghanistan or the war in Iraq, America needs a loyal partner in the Middle East and South Asia, and this partnership is the key. Who else other than Israel can play this role? Although ending the war in the Middle East is not a big issue, Arab countries want Palestine to be given, but Israel does not accept the two-state solution at any cost. I hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, subscribe our channel, like this video, and also share it with your friends. See you in the next video.